Hello to you all. I really hope you are all well, and I hope you are enjoying the day of the resurrection of Christ, our Lord and Saviour Jesus. So, what's this video called? It's called Truth. And truth will always set you free. Always. We know this. Now, we've all been on mad journeys in life of learning our surroundings, learning people. So, if I'm a little bit agitated, I've got pulled tendons in my back and bruised muscle. That's rather a bit. That's not my cum face. I'll always be a bit funny sometimes. But we need truth. We need a solution. That's what we need, a solution. We've always been searching for a solution. We've always done big things. We've tried. We're always trying to be this satanic corporation that we're under. And we've really tried. Now, I'm nearly 42. 42 in April, end of the year, month. And I've seen a lot of things in my life, and I've been awake for 20 odd years. You know, what I know now, bloody hell, it's quite draining, you know, trying to get people to learn, you know, to see the truth, to see what's in front of them. And sometimes it's an impossible task, and which it is. But ever since the coconut virus, the COVID-19, there's been a spiritual awakening, as people shall say. And people are waking up to the nonsense of the satanic world and what we live in, which is absolutely fantastic. I don't feel alone anymore. And it's nice to have conversations with people on Facebook or other forums and face to face, or go to a protest and speak to people, or standing in the park and speak to like-minded people and have intelligent conversations and not be judged. That is brilliant. The internet is a massive world of manipulation. They will try and drag you down. They will try and force their bullshit upon you. They will try and indoctrinate you. They will try to get you to go their way. As we say, rebellion. But these journeys you go on, and like I say, I've been on some crazy journeys. I've made myself look like a fool a few times on the YouTube channel, and I've been sucked in and manipulated. But that had to happen. I had to be manipulated. I had to be made a fool of. I had to. It was the path. It was my guideline. It had to happen. It was destiny. All the people I've met and spoke to, that had to happen. That's destiny. That's the way it rolls, I'm afraid. And I've met some beautiful people. I've met some interesting people. And I've met people that I thought was all right and let me down. But I forgive all of them. I forgive you and I thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I really do. There's no sour grapes or bitterness with me, I'm afraid. Everything is a learning curve. Everything. But the most important thing is I've repented for all my sins. And that is what I've done. And this truth community is absolutely crazy. It is. Oh, do this, or do that, or do this, or do that. Or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. I do it this way, or I do it that way. Or that's you know. Where do you go? What is truth? What is the facts? What is the solution? At the end of the day, these people have tried. Don't matter if it's as little as council tax or the TV license. Somebody has brought you information to help you and guide you on your way. Fair enough, some people feel their time needs paying, and they want paying for their information. That is up to that individual at the end of the day. Everybody works in different ways. Me, I will always work for free because that's the way I roll. It's what I feel in my heart is the right thing to do. Okay? It's because I've never been awake for so many bloody years. I can't charge. It's what my creator wants me to do, and I feel it's the right thing to do. But I'm not judging anybody. I'm just like everybody else, trying to bring you something, even if it helps, or it gives you a kickstart up the arse to get you going on your journey of finding out the truth. And I always sat here in many of my videos, and I always said, find out on who you really are. The truth will set you free. And at the time, I didn't really know who I was. I thought I did, but I didn't. Now, my journey in life, when people say religion, Jesus Christ, our creator, a lot of people go, oh God, I can't be arsed with that. But turn off. Because that's what the indoctrinated manipulation world has done to the people. They've pushed you away from the good Lord. For a reason. Oh, now I know what game they're really playing. Yeah, I can see why now they've done that. I really can. So we always know that we're a man, or we know we're a woman. Right? That's the two facts. That's what our creator created. He created man and created woman in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Right? He created man and created woman, and he gave us dominion over the land and made us a sovereign being. That's what he did, or what our creator is, you know. But I'm like going, well, where's this going, you're going to ask? I'm going to ask you the question, and I'm going to pause for about 3 seconds. What do you want in life? What do you really want? Now, that's a powerful question. All I want in life is peace. That's it. And love. Because at the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters. We are all children of our Creator. Simple. So I went on my journeys with my paperwork, the Lawful Rebellion. And, that was fascinating at the time. It worked. It was signed by a solicitor. So it gave it power, it gave it standing. It was an affidavit of truth. Affidavit 1 and affidavit 2. And I was like, yeah, this is good. So we did this, that, and the other. And it wasn't the solution. It was a solution. And I was like, sovereignty. You take your sovereignty away from the Queen. How did she get our sovereignty in the first place? How did she get our sovereign? How? And you're like, But the Lawful Rebellion works on you take your sovereignty away from the Queen. When she performs, dissolves Parliament, restores order, and goes back onto common law jurisdiction, you give her the sovereign back so she can perform and be our Queen. Now, obviously, it's the King. And I'm like, how? Well, our Creator gave us dominion. a sovereign. We're either a man or a woman. So we're already born with this. We're already born with it. And that's quite interesting. So how did the trick was, how did they do it? Well, they always say that the simplest things is always the easiest things, there's always the answer, and the answers are always been there in front of us. But it's like a recipe, you've got to put it all together. Now, when the birth certificate was created, it created an identity and placed it upon you without you knowing what was going on. Because you've got your born date and also a birthday registration on that paperwork, because it's on a 100-gram watermark bonded paper. Because it's an asset, it's a bond, it's worth something. So what they want you to do is, they want you to use this satanic corporated name for your entire lifetime. And we all know that it's got a Sesca 1666 attached to it, but we've just got to figure out how to access that. So they're basically making money on us all our lifetime, billions or billions of pounds upon you, which is fraud anyway. And they want us to act as a straw man. That's what they want us to do. Now, I've seen people changing the names from lowercase to capitalized letters for the fictitious entity. All right, to create a trust. This is where it's going to get interesting. We only have one name, which is your Christian name, your calling name, which mine's Gerard. But I like to be called Jez. But when your mum and dad go down to the registrar office, they are actually giving you away to a corporation. But who are they actually giving away? Because they're not actually giving you away because you're incompetent at the time, because your brain's brand new and you don't know your surroundings and what's actually going on. But it tells you in the Bible, man shall return and take back what's rightfully his. So I'm now competent enough to understand my surroundings and what is actually going on. So I know the birth certificate is absolute fraud. It's a fictitious entity. I know this. I know they created it. I know my mum and dad signed it under duress. Right? Because that's what's happening. If you don't sign it, you'll be punished. So they're signing it under duress. So you're going to be thinking, where are you going with this? We've heard all this before. Truth has always been here, right under our noses, and not realised it's been under our noses this whole time. So, here it is. Truth. That is the truth. And I swear to God, Almighty God, to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Right? No lies from me. I tell you the truth. I hold this Bible in my heart. This was my dad's Bible. This is the key to our freedoms, people. This book here, believe it or not, is fact and truth. Now, man shall return and take back what's rightfully his. So, therefore, every time you use that birth certificate, you are committing sin. Right? No injury, no foul, no loss, and no fraud, people. So you're using paperwork that doesn't belong to you. You're using a fictitious entity, what they created. Now you know your surroundings, you know exactly what's going on. So every time you agree to use that fictitious entity, you are committing sin. You are committing perjury upon yourself. Believe it or not. They're not bothered about money. they're bothered about what they've stolen from you. Because our Creator, when He sparked that life into us, He gave us our soul. He gave us dominion over the land. He gave us our wealth, our minerals, and our land. That's what these satanic assholes have done. They have stolen our minerals, land, and wealth, and what our Creator gave us. It's ours, it's everybody's. He created this world. He told us be rightful and multiply. He told us to get on. Right? He didn't say go out there and cause wars and do this, that, and the other. He told us to love each other. He told us peace, harmony. But the corruption has taken over. So when that birth certificate is stolen, they have stolen your soul from birth. They have stolen your minerals, your land, and your, I can't remember the bloody rest, land, minerals, and wealth. Right? That's what they've stolen from you. So I've repented my sins. I've repented everything that I've done in that fictitious name. I've asked for forgiveness. It's not about the money with them. It's about them getting you to sin. That's what it's about. And it's about them stealing your assets from you. We're only here for a short time, people. Remember that. Well, I'm not doing this just for me. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for my children, your children, their children, and the next generations and generations of children. I'm trying to restore peace and love. And this is all free. So I understand now that this birth certificate is fraud. And it's owned property by the Vatican City, which was former Roman Empire of Rome. Romans never went away, people. Never went away. They just formed into the Catholic religion. Right? The banks, that's what they are. It's the main bank. Well, there's 3 crowns in there. We know this. It's the Vatican, England, and Washington as the 3 crowns. We already know. All right? We've only got one name. My name's Gerard. I say, but I like to be called Jez. So how do we go about it then? Remember what I said about lawful rebelling with solicitors? We need the jurisdiction of God. That's what we need. We need the jurisdiction of God. So you're going to be doing an affidavit 1. And maybe an affidavit of 2. So I'm still working on my paperwork. But I'm giving you an enlightenment of what I've been getting up to now. And what I'm supposed to bring. But we need to go back under our true Creator. We need to identify ourselves correctly as a fact. We don't want to be running around as a fictitious entity. We need to be running around as a fact and as a man or a woman. So therefore, you will create your own birth certificate. Well, born certificate. Figure of speech. You see where the programming comes into? It's just a natural thing that you say. But you will create your own born certificate on 100-gram paper. Automat, of course. Use sky blue pastel paper or use whatever 100-gram paper you want. So you'll create your own bond. You'll create your own identity as man. You will create witnesses. You'll have 3 or you can have 5 or 6 witnesses, whatever many you want. And you will put a left print and a right print and you will do it in red. Right? You will do it in red. And you will do it in blood. That's a fact. But then you'll laminate the paperwork afterwards. So it's all sealed up. So there's no biohazards. You will use the postal mechanics, the UPU, as your vessel, as your new identification number. Don't forget your birth certificate has an identification number for the fraud. Right? So you can use your own. Right? Where am I going? But you need jurisdiction. You need to do an affidavit of truth, proving that you are flesh and blood, and that you are under the Almighty God. And you shall protect and save, and uphold the law of common law, and under our true Creator. And obey His rules of what he placed. Just love and peace, that's it, basically. You all know the difference between right and wrong. So you're doing an affidavit of truth. You create your own born certificate. You will be the owner of that paperwork. Nobody own it. Because you've got your proof of claim, you'll have your own ID card, you do it all yourself. Just print it out, get it done, easy peasy. Right? You can then prove who you are. I can use Jared John of the family of Gallagher. So I'm not using that name, I'm just a clan member of that. But I'm under my true creator God. I always knew the Bible. I always knew this book would set me free. I always knew it. Then you'll write out a letter to the Pope telling him that you can no longer participate in fraud. That you are under the Almighty Creator and Jesus Christ is your Lord and Saviour. And you can no longer commit fraud and no longer can commit sin. By using that fraudulent contract you have placed upon me, I now declare that you dissolve all assets in that fictitious entity. I am now under God. Right? And you put a silver coin there against him as well, put a lien against him. 3 ounces of silver, we'll just use a shekel. The old biblical days, because the shekel, the silver, is the true commodity of man. You're not dealing with security frauds. You're dealing with fact versus fact. But how do you make this possible? How do you make this powerful? What's the reasoning behind all this, Jezza? We all know that the Bible is the key. I always knew Genesis would set me free, but I didn't know who I was inside correctly. But I do now. I know who I am. I know what I've got to do. The churches are a representative of God. That's correct. The Christian churches, because that's what they're trying to get rid of. Churches represent God. All the laws and contracts in this entire realm of earth came from this book. Everything came from this book. The triangle, you have God, man, common law, acts and statutes. Acts and statutes can't override God. That's a fact. Right? Man can't override God. Right? But God can override everything. See where I'm going? So you prove that you're a man. You prove that you can no longer commit sin. You can no longer commit perjury upon yourself. You no longer want to go. You can't deal with these corporations anymore. There's only one true master. So you pledge allegiance to God. And you ask God to help. God will sign your paperwork. It will give you the highest jurisdiction ever. Because no one's above God. So God will sign your paperwork. Right? You'll be back under God. As a man or a woman. The vicar signs it on behalf of God. That's simple. That's how easy it is. Right, so you've got all those signatures, proving who you are, your flesh and blood. You put your feet on the paperwork as well, because you've taken back your soul. Because that's what they do to us. So what they do to us at the registry, the birth, blah, 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 you reverse it, you do everything what they do, and you do exactly the same. You create your own paperwork, your own identity. That's simple. And the creator goes on the paperwork as the jurisdiction. He gives you back your land. He gives you back your minerals. He gives you back your wealth. He gives you back everything, what you're entitled to. Everything. So you've taken everything back. You've told the Pope, you've got 40 days and 40 nights to rebook my paperwork, to rebook God. That ain't going to happen, is it? Not going to happen. So after 40 days and 40 nights, you can take his implied consent. Tiddly-dee. You're now back under God. You're now man, flesh, blood. Right? Living the dream. You can still operate in the world, do you know what I mean? Your car insurance, etc., etc. Do you know what I mean? You just give me your paperwork. There you go, that's me. There's my identification number. There's everything. Do not pass my paperwork on to people. If you do, I will sue you. You do not pass it on to third-party interlopers. No, nothing. So you can still operate. It's that simple. Who says we have to operate underneath their fictitious entity and commit sin every day? We don't. We can still do this. And they always said in the Bible, 1,500 good men will take down the system. That's a fact. But how to get this into reality is I had to do the ultimate thing. I had to go down to a church. Well, I didn't go to a church to start off with. I rang a few vicars up, and they absolutely shite their underpants. They'd shit it. I mean, they're supposed to be working for God. They're supposed to be a representative of God. Nobody can come between you and your faith. No one. A father, vicar, cannot come between you and God. He has to obey God. He's a representative of God. He's supposed to do God's work. He's supposed to stand by this book by his heart. So, I rang a few up. One of them was like, oof, I'll lose my job. I was like, how can you lose your job to God? You're supposed to be a representative of God. Yeah, but you know what I mean now? It's just like, I just want a quiet life and just get on with me bits and bobs and me tiddly-dees and, and help people in that way. But I understand, I know what you're doing, and it's pretty massive. But you're going against those corporations. Yeah, damn right I am. Shouldn't you be doing the same? Representing man and woman, representing God correctly, using the tools what's been put in front of you with the Holy Bible, and setting the people free. I can't do it. Come, shit it. Spoke to number one, exactly the same. Spoke to my friend, who's just became a vicar. I went, now then, kid, how's it going? He went, all right, Jez. He went, what's up? I went, I understand you're Vicar Dibley. He went, oh, you're going to make a joke of it? No, mate. I said, I'm completely serious here, mate. And he was like, go on. So I told him, I said, you see this book here? And he went, yeah. I went, right. I said, is it a fact? He went, yeah, dead fact, mate. I went, right. I went, God real? He went, yeah. I went, Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. He went, man and woman. I went, yeah. Fact or fiction? He went, oh, fact. I went, right. I says, so everything in this book you have to stand by? He went, yes, everything. Can't go against it. I went, right. So I told him the crack. I went, go sign me paperwork. So what's up with you? I've only just become one, though, Jez. Do you know what I mean? This is getting deep shit. Like, I went, yeah, I know it is, mate. But do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what you have to do? He went, I don't think I'm competent enough. I went, you mean your arse is dropped? And he went, yeah. Do you see that this book is scaring vicars as well? All right? That's what I'm saying. All the laws and contracts came from this book. All I want is peace and love and free people. All I want is to be a man, back on my land, get back my rights, and get back everything under my true creator. And they ain't playing ball at the minute, these Vicar Dibleys. They have nothing to do with it. I was getting frustrated for a bit, like, getting frustrated. So I rung my brother up with his birthday. Kid, happy birthday, mate. Right, Jez, what's crack then? I said, well, you're into all that. He went, yeah. I went, right, I'm going to come clean. I'm going to tell you what I've been up to. And I told him he went. And he had a little tear in his eyes, you know what I mean? And we were both emotional, like, And I said, do you understand what I'm doing now? And he went, I do, bro. And he went, and I stand by and I back you with everything what you do, Jez. And he went, that is beautiful, mate. I went, what? He went, I never thought I would see the day you talk to me about this. Never thought I'd see the day. I went, things change. People change. Find out who you are really inside and what you're supposed to do. He said, whatever you do, bro, he said, I support you, whatever you do. I said, right, thank you very much. He went. I told him, I said, look, I said, the vicars, I said, they're all shitting it, mate. He went, I don't trust the one. I went, do you? He went, yeah. So I had a chat with him on here, told him about myself, told him what I want to do, told him there's no wealth or gain or no nothing in this involved. Nothing to be gained. You can't gain. You can't gain on this. You can't. So we met. Went into town with him. Spent about 3 hours with him. And I said to him, one of the questions, I said, "What do you want in life, Father? What's your ultimate thing? What you really want?" And he went, "I've never really been asked a question like that before. But I would please tell me." His answer was peace. That's what he wanted, peace. And I said, "I can restore that, Father." I said, "I can do that." And I told him what I wanted to do. I said, "I want to set the people free." I said, "I want to set the people free, mate." I said, "That's what I want to do." I said, "I want to destroy this demonic world and what we live in." And I said, "The Catholics," I said, "Do you know what I'm saying?" He went, you know what I mean? He went, "Oh, proper went in one." Because he knows that the Rome, and I told him the ins and outs, and I told him about the fictitious entities, and I told him about the fraud, and he knows. And he was right. Sinning. He went, "You are sinning." That's correct. You are. And we had a fantastic conversation. And I said to him, I went, "Look, Father," "I'm not going to beat about the bush." I said, "I need your signature." And he went, "I know you do." I said, "I need you to represent God on my paperwork." I said, "I need you to free me from this dark entities." I said, "I need you." And I said, "You can't come between me and my creator." He said, "That's right." He said, "I'm a representative of God." He said, "I have to do what God says." I said, "So you know about this book?" He went, "Yep, everything." And he was on that. Said he does say in the Bible about the riches, about taking down these corporations, taking down them. And he said that. And even after our long, deep conversations, I said, "You know what's in stake here, don't you?" I said, "Father," I said, "if you do this," I said, "I'll bring you thousands and thousands and thousands of people back to the church, mate. I'll put everyone back under God." I said, "And you'll set the people free." And he went, "It's about time that we started ruffling some feathers, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah." Okay, I tell you, I got home and I had a right little bubble of excitement and joy. I never thought I would get the churches on my side. Never. That was my hardest thing. It's all right doing all the paperwork and doing this, that, and the other. But to actually get the church to back you, and then get more to back you. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? So you know I'm not speaking shite. For a church to listen to me and a church to back me as a man, that tells you that this book is true. That this book is the freedom, the ultimate solution of all of it, of setting us free. And retaining faith, peace, love, minerals, wealth back to the people. And we share and we enjoy peaceful lives for our children and their children and the next children. We can do this. And this is what I've been working on. This is what I wanted to do. I always knew it. I always bloody knew it. But that's what I say. You've got these bad journeys in life. You do this, that, and the other, and you don't realise at the time, and everything, the jigsaw, all fits together. Because everything we learn, contract laws, everything comes from this book. Everything comes from here. Everything. So now I've got the churches on my side. And I said to the vicar, I said, "Look," I said, "if you're not up for it," I said, "if your ass is going, indict me. Give me the power of God." And I said, "And I will act on behalf of God. And I will sign people's paperwork and set people free. And give them sovereign back. True sovereign, not Mickey Mouse sovereign. True sovereign. Give everything back to them." And he started smiling. I said, "It's an eight-year course to be a vicar." I said to the vicar, I said, "I ain't got 8 years, mate." I said, "We need to get cracked on. Need to get it done." So I've done presentations in front of a committee of 6, vicars and that. And I've blown their minds, blown their nuts. And I said to them, I said, "The house of God is supposed to be for the people. said, you're not just a building to sing Come By Our or listen to people's problems. You're here to set the people free. But I said, you're just not using the Bible correctly. No disrespect. And he was smiling because he knew exactly what I was doing. He knew exactly where I was coming from. And he went, will the people really come? I went, yeah. I went, mate, thousands, if not millions, will go back to the churches, mate. Can you imagine it? Free. There's your sovereign back. There's your minister back. Everyone's dissolved the fictitious entity, birth certificate, give it back to Rome. Because we know they can't go against this. They can't do it. They cannot make us commit sin. They can't do it. Because they know they can't rebut this book. Because if they rebut this book, oh shit. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine what this world is actually going to be like if they disprove the Bible that it was talking bollocks? That ain't going to be good, is it? That's a fact. They can never go against the Bible because they know the Bible's telling the truth. There's your solution. There is the solution of ending it all, destroying the fictitious entity, creating your own identity of man as fact. That's what I'm saying, that once you've done the paperwork, you've done your 40 days and 40 nights with old King Dingling Popey, you send copies off to the King, government, Prime Minister, police station, council, notifying them that you no longer exist in their bullshit and you will not be participating in their fraud or committing perjury upon yourself or committing sin. Tiddly-dee. Signed and sealed. That's what I'm saying. Once you've got the jurisdiction of God on your paperwork, they're done. Done forever. The only way you're going to go to court is if you break common law. That's the only way. So all acts and statutes don't even have to apply to you anymore because the best thing is they can't take you to court because you've dissolved the birth certificate. It no longer exists. That fictitious entity is gone. You have your own. You're now a man or a woman. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Jesus. God. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're preaching to you. I'm bringing you facts. I'm bringing you the ultimate solution here. I'm bringing you the proper instruments that you need. And I'm telling you how to do it correctly. How to do it properly. Just get the churches on your side. That's going to be banging. And there's going to be a lot of awake vicars out there what are going to watch this and go, oh shit, I know what you've just done. But you know now you have the power to set the people free. Just with a little scribble. That's what I'm saying. I can lob a spanner into the works of the churches and stop them from doing the missions of God. But I can't do that. That's why the churches will do this, because they need the people back. They need people back. And once the people start going back to the churches, your little light bulbs are going to start ticking and your eyes are going to go, wow, all this time. This book is real. You're going to be back having faith in this book again. Faith restored. Back as a man. Back as a woman. Back taking back what's rightfully yours. No one can deal with you. You're free. All assets have all dissolved. You know what I mean? They always say the corporations will always rule over you and they will always win. Well, they did. Even I thought that. Even getting the SESCV Trust. They still own you. You haven't won. Well, guess what? I have won. Because they are no longer part of me. They can't own me. They can't do anything to me. They've now got to come and face their judgment. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm working on the paperwork. That's what I'm saying. I'm working on the paperwork now. Make sure I never get everything right. Once everything's done, you shall all have it for free. You'll have all the templates and you just do it all yourself. You create everything yourself. You do it yourself. It costs you nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm nearly there. I'm not far off. But I didn't really want to sit in the background anymore with this. I needed to get it out there. I needed to give you something. And that's what I'm saying. I sit here and I need to help. I need to do something. And like I say, this Bible was my dad's. You know, and I keep it close to my heart. That's what I'm saying. I never thought I'd ever be in this position one day and pick this up and actually read it and actually understand what it means. That's what I say. I've been on a journey all my life and learnt this and learnt that. And you read the Bible, it's only got one name, hasn't it? People have only got one name in the Bible. They haven't got second names, they've got one name, and it's all in case text. It's beautiful. When you start learning the knowledge, and then you pick this up. Whoever wrote this book was very educational in law. I can tell you that now. They knew exactly what they was doing. But they might have taken other books out of the Bible, but there's still left enough in here for us to go do the system. And I always knew it was always the first chapter. I always knew it was Genesis, what we say was free. But I just didn't know how to use it correctly. Now I know how to use it correctly. Now I know how to get the ultimate jurisdiction on my paperwork. Cha-ching! So, I feel a bit, you know what I mean, giddy on that. But yeah, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to dissolve everything and how I want to help you. No one can come between you and God. And now that you've got the paperwork to back your ass up with people, let's see how they get on now. No chance. Absolutely no chance. So, it's been an emotional one. I thought I would bring you my information and what I've been working on and what I've been doing. But yes, I have the churches on my side. And I hope you vicars out there that are awake to the corruption, I hope you now take this on board and help your people. Help your people. Free your people. Get everyone back under God. Against these corporations, against these satanic rituals. You have the power to free the people. So use it. Help people. Anyhow, God bless you all. And I'll see you on the next one. With obviously paperwork, etc. But if you want to do your own paperwork and get cracked on yourselves, you can do. You know, you don't have to use mine. You can make your own up and stuff like that. But as long as you've got the highest jurisdiction in the world of God on your paperwork, you're a winner. And it's definitely chicken dinner. Anyway, God bless. Remember, tiddly-dee.